Doing better than yesterday. Slept pretty good last night, although I got really hungry and I ended up going to get a turkey club with no bread and salad at the Yard House. I had 2 eggs yesterday and did that, so I'm sticking to keto. It's working, although it was a little later than I wanted to eat last night. So, anyway, definitely progress is happening and definitely went to the bathroom several times last night when I was sleeping, getting rid of that water weight. And I'm feeling good. I slept a good 8 hours. So here I am earlier than normal. Well, not I'll say earlier than normal, earlier than I've been before I was getting up earlier to walk. So leading into that, I'm on the track in my town. They're going to have a track meet. So I'm kind of walking the perimeter of the track right now. As you can see, they're getting ready for it. There's a game going on over here and they yell it off everything over there. So some folks are walking here before the track meet starts, and it's a high school track anyway in my town, but everybody uses it, and I might be back tonight as well. Anyway, welcome to my station. If you're new here, please say hello. Let me know where you're from, and feel free to subscribe. I go live every day, so you don't miss anything. This is my wellness quest, my wellness journey. I started a few years ago. I'm Steve Klein, by the way, from the Boston area. I had some health issues where I almost died taking Advil, vomited blood. It went through me in 2 different ways. Most scariest thing I've ever felt in my life. I don't want anybody ever to feel a death experience like that. Close to death experience was terrible. I was hospitalized and they didn't know if I had a cancer or a stomach ulcer. Thank God I didn't have any of that. And they told me to get on Nexium. So I was on that for 10 years. I don't think they do that anymore. As I have side effects with the Nexium. I'm off it now. Found I had bone loss and a good amount at the dentist with my x-rays. And they said, well, you're really young for this. So I got scared, started looking into natural ways of doing things, and found some naturopath doctors that share with me some high impact ginger, turmeric, muscadine, got on that. And it's been really helping me on my wellness quest. And if you can relate to that, please put a comment. I'd love to know what your story is. And I talk about other issues I've had from before that, like tonsils being taken out in my 30s and growing back in craziness. I know, the size of golf balls. And, you know, kept getting strep throat over and over and be on medication, penicillin, and I've got it again. Wouldn't go away. It was crazy. Hello there. Welcome, welcome. And this is a station for adults only. So, but we welcome everybody from around the world. Okay. And like I said, make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss anything when I go live. And if you're on a wellness, uh, you know, quest as well, love to hear about that. And if this motivates and inspires you to walk, I would love to hear your story about that. So I say, come walk with me all around the world, as walking is complimentary. It's amazing. There's so many great things about it, from better sleep to better digestion to weight loss to mental clarity. So many different things. Hello there. Hello there. Welcome, welcome. I know that's in another language. I think that's Hebrew. Welcome. You must be from Israel. And welcome, Red on something. I don't know, but welcome. Yes, it's very true. So, anyway, like I said, they're getting ready for a track meet here, so I'm walking all around the perimeter or the inside of it, so I don't disturb them, but I get my walk in somehow, right? And I do each day. So, and I'll be going on a trip on the 19th. So I don't know if I'll be walking in the airport or walking when I get to my destination, but I plan on going live on that too, so I don't miss a beat. And like I said, it doesn't matter where you walk. I've walked in parks, I've walked the laundromat parking lot, I walked wherever just to fit in the mall. I live in Boston, so the weather changes in 5 minutes. So the point is, if this inspires you to walk, let me hear about it. Let me know where you're walking from as well, and what you're doing to make that happen. It's just getting a little movement in is always great. So you're from the what land? I don't know what that means. The bomb Robala? I don't know what that is. But welcome. Welcome, welcome. Tell me if it's a real place, and that's great. So, back on strict keto and not dirty keto makes a difference. And watching and the intermittent fasting I did for several days, but like the last 2 days, I got hungrier, and I was doing like one meal a day, and I got hungrier yesterday, the other day. So yesterday I had 2 eggs, and then I got really hungry last night, and I had to have some more food. But strictly keto. So far today, I've had 2 eggs, um, and some cheese with that, and that's been it. And doing great. I feel great. Um, I love eggs, as I said, because I think it's a great source for so many great things are in it, and always keeps you moving. And the point is, nothing is perfect, as I said, with each day that when you're working on your health and you're tracking it, right? Tracking every little thing from your sleep to what you're doing. Like right now, I know that um, I might not have been drinking enough water. I've been drinking water more at night, and that made me go to the bathroom a bit more, but I also know my body's changing over from the glucose levels to get rid of that keto. So I get into ketosis, and it changes and eliminates, right? And that's what it does. So, especially when you do dirty keto and you're in situations where you cheat, and that happens to everybody, but I try to keep it great. What does that say? I don't know what that says. About something about talking your sleep. Okay. Uh, uh, I have no idea what you're talking about. But anyway, please keep the conversations intelligent and on what we're talking about. And only be on here and subscribe if this is going to inspire you to walk and be on a wellness quest like me. And that's my avatar as to who I want to attract to the station, because that's what it's all about. We want the right people here. And I'll tell you, I've been walking all the time here, and we had a wellness quest last fall where we got on the Step Up app. We all downloaded it. A bunch of people I know from around the world. It was great. And then we all messaged each other. My goal was to do 10,000 steps, and I said, "Can I do 10 miles?" I was doing 10 miles, and I said, "Yeah, you know what, I can." And I started doing 10 miles a day. I was like blown away, and I really lost some weight, and I really felt really good. And then the winter hit Boston, so I was able to walk. I was hoping to walk in the malls, but it was just such a bad winter, I wasn't able to. So it feels like winter still. It's in May here. It's still hanging out. I mean, the heat's still on my house. I mean, today's like 62, but last night the heat was on. So it's a little interesting in terms of where we're at with that. But so it's been great to get out, but I look forward to even warmer weather so I can keep it going. Always great. So it's walking around this over here. And so like I said, I had a life changing experience where I took Advil, vomited blood. It was horrible. And, was on Nexium, like I said, lots of issues. I'm still tracking. And when I found these naturopaths, they went over this health survey with me that went through hard tissue, soft tissue, sugar, and digestion. These are questions that really spoke to me, and they speak to people who take it. And what I've learned is to pay attention to your body. Nothing's perfect. Each day is not perfect, but pay attention to the best you can do and track everything. And being self employed is not easy to always come out at certain times, because if I don't answer the phone sometimes, clients go someplace else, right? And I just don't know what I don't know. Now, when I come on the track, I do text people, as I just did, said, please don't call me, text me, because they'll interrupt my live, right? I have to figure out how to put that on there where you don't get calls. I don't know if there's a way. I heard that there is. I got to figure that out. So, anyway, I just schedule it. So in my day, so sometimes I'm on in the morning, sometimes I've been on in the afternoon, but lately I've been on a lot at night. So I'm trying to get out here earlier. And then what I do is I'll go live, and thanks to you guys, everybody on YouTube, from new people and people who come back, I'm able to walk and talk at the same time, not do this alone, which I love, right? And you can too. I hope this inspires you to look at doing the same thing. It's a wonderful thing. So that way you can do that. Then what I'll do is a lot of times I will, stop and keep walking, and I'll make calls and do things while I'm walking, of course. And I know a lot of people like to listen to music and stuff, and who wants to walk alone, right? It just motivates me. So that's what this tool called YouTube has done for me. And it's blown my mind as to how amazing that is. So this is kind of like my warm up, if you will. And because I've been making a commitment, right, doing my best to go live every day, as you can see, I've been doing. It's been amazing, and already met lots of new people, and great new comments and great sharing, which I love. So thank you for that. And again, if that inspires you, you should start your own too. So we have a wellness quest coming up, that you can join. It's complimentary. And whatever you're working on, whether it's weight loss, whether it's general health, whether it's workouts, whether it's lifting weights, learning how to cook keto, we have a support group. And the more the merrier. People from around the world join it, and we all just support each other. It's an accountability to yourself and accountability to other people. When you create an accountability for yourself and with other people, it really helps you strive to do better. We all need each other. We learned that over COVID, that when people were so by themselves, they realized they didn't do so well. People need people, right? And that was the beautiful thing about YouTube. I remember being a caretaker to my mom, and I was doing some YouTubes on another station, not live. I just started doing the lives on here not too long ago. I was pre-taping them, but it was so therapeutic to reach people, and it really is. So I don't forget that, because that was a really crazy time in the world. It's still not right yet. People are still trying to socialize and be together. But it just goes to show you, whatever you do, right, whatever goal you have, just like we're talking about health, I think it's easier to do it with people, right? But, years ago, if I had joined one time, um, Weight Watchers, and I had to go there in person, and you met different people, you heard stories, but you had to drive there, you had to take all your jackets off, weigh in and all that. Again, it was great. Nothing wrong with that. But today, people are just too busy. And I know I am. And with this other technology, why bother, right? And I think this is even better. So I look at it like that. But that's everything right now, not just this. It's anything you're doing. People need people. And what a great resource this is, right? And, it's great. So if you can relate to that, let me know. And if you'd like to join the complimentary wellness quest, send me an email with your information wherever you are in the world. Doesn't matter. The more the merrier. You can see some of our past ones up on my station. We have different topics. We talk about different things. And people are going through all kinds of stuff. I had a gal, my last one was going through stage 4 cancer. She just passed away the other day. It was very sad. She was in Canada. Sean, big shout out to her. She was lovely. Her and her husband were living in New York. They came to my mom's funeral. I met them online, and they joined me. He passed away, and then she did early. Like, she was 60 years old. It was crazy. But we did the best we could do. She was fighting hard to the end. And the stories like that, you can't make up, okay? So, unfortunately, everybody's sick with different things, from our food to our medications to our vaccinations. I'm not telling people not to eat them. I'm not telling people not to take them, but there's always a side effect, so be aware. So whatever we can do to offset some of that and be a little healthier and to try to strive, nothing's perfect, as I said, then you got it going on. You just fit it right in, okay? Like today's 3 o'clock. Past 3 o'clock, I'm here. Last night, I think it was 7 or 8 o'clock I was out here. I don't remember. And I go through my day. I make the list of 10 things I need to do before I go to bed. One of them is walking, outside of all the other important things, right? And I make it a priority. So I'm probably going to break it up. Once I go off of this, I'll keep walking, and then I'll go home and I'll do a few things, and then I'll probably walk later on tonight, but I won't go live, right? It just kind of gets me going. It gets my momentum going, if that makes any sense. And if that helps you to think about just doing a little better with your wellness, let's say, okay, you don't want to make a commitment to like the wellness quest. Okay, well, you know, subscribe to the channel if you see fit. And, and I hope it inspires you. It inspires you to create your own channel that I can subscribe to. Let me know. I would love to do that. And take it from there, right? And if I can, you can. That's the point. So there's always a way to do a little bit better. And with all these people that are sick and have passed, my mom passed a couple years ago. It was god awful. Okay, I have lots of people. My uncle right now has cancer. People are going through things. So if we can help and support each other to do better and to offset some of these things and to live a little longer by walking, by sharing what we're going through, I think that that's great, right? And the thing is, your doctors are great. They're only trained so much in wellness. They only can tell you so much. Yeah, they can get you a nutritionist. Most of those nutritionists have it all wrong. I have a friend who's a nutritionist. She took it just to say she's a nutritionist for the title, but everything that she says that they teach is wrong. And again, that's always opinion. Just like there's some doctors that will tell you otherwise, naturopaths, of what other doctors know, because they only learn very little about wellness. Yeah, they'll tell you to exercise and lose weight, and they'll tell you to meet with a nutritionist, but they're always telling you how and why we want to have less carbs and less sugar in our diet, and you do keto to paleo, and why you move. They tell you the things, but then they also tell you some things that don't make sense in long term. And they're so quick to prescribe medicines that do more damage, and or some of the things that they've tested and said, okay, on their test results, are kind of from old ways of looking at things, and that's not good either. So you have to question and you have to ask questions and always get another opinion, especially when people are subscribing or telling you to do something like a surgery and what have you. I was chatting with somebody about, this is reminding me about something the other day about they were at the doctors, they had swollen feet, and they were telling them, oh, you're a heart patient. And they wrote that down. And it was just one of those things that they're not. And it was just that they go by their checkoff list. They don't think. Well, I had that experience. My legs were swollen. I had COVID, and I was not on keto. And a lot of the naturopaths will say, when you're not on keto, it's easy to catch COVID. But it's just sugar, okay? And that's the one time I had it. And my legs swelled up. I was having some salty things, and I went to the hospital, and because I had a cough from COVID, and they said, we checked off these things and you have a heart thing. I go, no, I don't. And I came back and they said I didn't. And I said, well, please remove that. Okay, and then they did, right? Now, funny thing is, when I was on keto, right, strict keto, all of a sudden my body's itchy, right? And that's lack of salt, because I wasn't using salt after that. So then I started salting my food. Again, I'm not giving you advice. You need to talk to your doctor, get your own opinion. But I say get a second opinion. Talk to a naturopath as well. Get the full picture. If you have a doctor, try to go for a DO. That's what I have. And then I was just looking at a website today, one of those extra doctors that looks at the full picture, where it's between medicine and natural stuff. And they can recommend, they can do tele-doctor stuff to you and all that. And I prefer that myself. When I'm going to be due up for a physical in a couple months. I forget when. I'll get a physical from a naturopath as well. I'll pay him $300. Well worth it. And he'll muscle test everything on my belly button and other things as well, just to check some things. And he told me something that I already knew, and I didn't tell him, and he knew it. So that's my recommendation. So always try to get the right information, get the right support, do your due diligence, right? Because you have one body in your life, right? And one lifetime. So try to make the best of it and think for yourself and be around positive people who inspire you to be healthy and to keep it moving, right? That's what I say. So with that said, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hello there. Welcome, everybody. Anne, welcome. Let me know where you're from, if this relates to you. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so if this relates to you and you won't miss anything. If you'd like to do a complimentary wellness survey, contact me. And if you'd like to join the complimentary wellness challenge coming up, which is called the Quest, it's 9 weeks. It's totally complimentary. There's prizes and stuff. And the biggest prize is that you'll feel better. You'll have accountability in a great way. It's at your convenience. We do a Zoom once a week that's taped, whether you can make it on live or not. Doesn't matter. It's a replay. You check off on a website once a week 10 questions you answer. Did you hydrate enough the day? Did you sleep over 7 hours? All these different things. And it sounds silly, but by filling it out, making those attempts to be accountable, it really, really, really does work. Okay, I've done many of them, and before I was like, oh, I don't know, but it really does work. So, with that said, I hope that inspires you guys. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Thank you. We hit 100 subscribers. Because you guys, we hit 150. We're at like 159. Want to smash that, hit 200. But the point is, only subscribe if it relates to you. This is a station that I want my avatar to be with the right people, and that's what really matters. And love to share and hear your comments on what you're going through. And I will answer everybody if you leave a message on the videos. Okay, you guys have a good day. Keep up the good work, and remember, nothing's perfect, but keep it moving. Talk to you guys tomorrow.